Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Celta Vigo 0, Real Madrid 1. And I mean, who scores the goal, right? Who scores the goal? It's Jude Bellingham once again with that winner. It was a somewhat fortunate victory for Real Madrid. I have to say that. There were chances for Celta Vigo, big chances that perhaps with a little bit more composure, a little bit more, creativity, they could have made more of it. They could have even, scored a goal or two. It's just in the big moments, it almost felt like Celta Vigo couldn't believe that they had those chances and didn't have that belief to get that goal. Maybe the opening VAR call had something to do with it. Now, what do with it? Now, was that a goal? Should that have been disallowed? You ask me, I think it should not have been disallowed. I think Real Madrid got away with one there, and I'm sure at some point it will come back to haunt them. But the reality is they got away with the call there because that was a goal. And that's something I'll talk about Kepa as well. But the fact is that it's one of those 50-50 challenges. If the referee has not spotted it and not given it, VAR should not be intervening and telling the ref to go have a look. And I don't like this intervention that VAR is doing more and more into the game. I don't like that. I think you've still got to it should still be the on-field referee who makes most of the decisions. Because the moment, even if the VAR just says, "We'll go have a look to see if you." What do you make of it? The fact that you say it, you immediately put pressure on the referee to go, I've got to change my decision, right? And that is not helpful. So that's the issue with it. But the actual incident itself, I don't think Kepa was that foul. I think he gets his hand to the ball. Yes, I mean the player's backing into him a little, is backing into him a bit, but he's not backing into him in the way of like he's pulling his t-shirt or tugging too much. It's just it's again that arm movement, the arm movement that he does, which kind of makes it feel like he's doing more than he actually is. I think Kepa just, this is the problem that's been with Kepa for a long time, where he struggles on crosses, and maybe La Liga would be better for him because he'd get away with these kind of things. But that goal should have stood, but he got away with that one. And to be honest, if Celta had scored that goal, we don't know what the result would have been. You probably think that Celta would have gone on to win the game because Real Madrid looks so toothless up front. Vinicius Junior's injury didn't help at all. They actually created the best chance of the first half, probably for Real Madrid. Nice little move there. The pass was just overhit for Rodrygo, and then he has to go off injured after a while. Hopefully he's not out for too long. Real Madrid already have 2 key players out. They wouldn't want a third one being out as well. So hopefully he is not injured for too long. And it's encouraging that he was sitting on the bench and not really in the trainer's room or whatever. So that's encouraging. But the reality is that it is a big blow for Real Madrid. They lose him for an extended period of time. It definitely impacted this game because as soon as he went off, I think Joselu tries a lot. He's very hardworking. He does a lot of good things. He also involved in the goal, but he just doesn't have the dynamism that Vinicius brings to that role. Particularly if Real Madrid, it looks like they're set on playing this 4-4-2 formation that they play with the diamond in the middle. I don't think he suits that. He'll try and I'll give his all, but I don't think he suits that because he doesn't have the creativity or dynamism to play that role. But that being said, if that if there's a lot of issues, then coming into the second half, there's a penalty shout. And was that a penalty? I think similar to the one that happened with Nketiah against Arsenal not too long on Monday. It is a penalty with a letter of the law. I don't like the fact that they exaggerate the contact, but it was a penalty. I don't think you deny it. Again, the goalkeeper, VR, he's got to be careful. If he's coming out, he's got to be confident that he's going to get the ball. If not, he's always risking giving away a penalty because all the attacking player has to do is get a touch to it. He just has to get a touch that pushes it away from the goalkeeper, and then the momentum of the challenge will just take him out. That's just what it is. That's physics, right? So you always got to be sure as a goalkeeper that if I am going that way for it, I'm going to get the ball, or at least I'm going to make sure that he cannot push it away, that he pushes the ball on to me, and therefore it will not be a penalty. But I couldn't do that there. That being said, the penalty was dreadful. From Rodrygo, it was pretty bad. The commentators online on air, they were saying, "Oh, it was a good penalty. It was very well struck," and the keeper says it. It wasn't. It was actually a pretty comfortable height. Yes, it's a bit high, but that's because the keeper's dived anticipating a low shot. So therefore, it looks a bit higher than it actually is. The reality is it's not that high. It's just that the keeper's hand goes like that because he's dived a bit low. But it's not. It's actually a very good height for a save. It's not into the corner, which again is what you want. It wasn't that. It was actually obviously not central, but it was a pretty decent distance from the goal where the keeper can save it. It wasn't a very good penalty. I don't think it was a good penalty. Maybe you disagree with me, so mention that in the comments. But I didn't think it was a good penalty at all. Surprised that Rodrygo took it. Actually, I would have thought maybe Joselu or I don't know if Cruz was on already by that point, but if he wasn't, if he was, then I think Cruz might have wanted to take it. But I think Cruz wasn't on at that point. I think it was Rodrygo. But yeah, that's the question: is who's going to take penalties going forward this season? Will it be Vinicius? Will it be Rodrygo? Will it be Bellingham? Will it be somebody else? But that looked like a critical miss. That looked like that might have been a game-changing miss as well. But who steps up? It's Jude Bellingham who steps up. 4 goals in 3 games. It's a nice cross. And I think Celta Vigo kind of lost their shape a little bit on that corner because of the injury to De La Torre. There was a little bit of a lull there. That often happens, and suddenly you have to refocus and go again. And many players often can't do that after a break. It's the old cliche, isn't it? And that's what happened there. They all kind of switched off a little bit. The corner comes in. Joselu gets a head onto it. I thought Aidoo completely lost the plot with Bellingham. He allowed him to be outmuscled, and it's a good header. I don't think the keeper is expecting Bellingham to get to it because he's thinking Aidoo's got that covered. But when he gets there, it's a very good finish. It's a good header from Bellingham. A little bit fortunate that the keeper fumbled it. But that being said, I think, it was still a very good header. And he gets a good goal. It's 1-0. And Real Madrid see it out. They get the win in the end. 3 points. Never an easy place to go to Celta Vigo and get 3 points. And the fact that Real Madrid have done that is good. As I've said, away games are all about just winning. You just want to go there and you want to get a win. Doesn't matter how you get them, you get the win. You can leave you can get the good stuff and the creative and then the wonderful stuff for the home games. In these kind of away games, you just want to get the 3 points and you want to get the job done. And they'll be happy with that. They need to keep getting 3 points, as much as they can, because that's what Barcelona did last year. Just kept winning 1-0, 2-1s, and won the league that way. And that's what Real Madrid should also be looking at doing. Just get the wins. Doesn't matter how you get them. Just get them and keep moving on. And that's what they did. What I will say about Bellingham, though, is he looks really, very good. Not just in terms of the goals, because that's good. But the fact is, people forget he's playing in a role that is not actually his role. He's never played as a number 10, as an out-and-out number 10 before. But now for Real Madrid, he's playing as a number 10. He's always almost always looked as a box-to-box midfielder, somebody who can go forward, go back, or as a creative, deep-lying playmaker. But right now, he's playing as a number 10 and he's doing a bang-up job of it because it was his pass that actually, got the penalty for Rodrygo as well. So it wasn't just that he scored a header of a goal, but he actually, I feel a lot of the play goes through him, particularly in games like these where Real Madrid struggle. I think especially in the midfield battle, I think that at times they struggle to control the midfield. I think a lot of the play goes to Bellingham, and he's taken that responsibility on. For somebody of his age to do that is just unbelievable. And forget the price tag, because 100 million euros is nothing when you look at what Chelsea paid for Enzo Fernandez, for Caicedo. You think the fact that Josko Guardiola has gone for the same amount as well. He's a defender. So 100 million euros is not that much nowadays. Doesn't get you much nowadays. And in fact, Declan Rice as well went for more than that as well. So he's simply that the price tag is immaterial. He's simply just a very good player who's playing in a good, who's elevating an already good team, and that is wonderful to see. I'm also impressed with Fran Garcia. I thought Fran Garcia was excellent today, and he has really quietly. I mean, the left back is a problem because Ferland Mendy can never seem to stay fit enough, to play there. They had to play Camavinga there. They had to play Nacho there. But the fact is, Fran Garcia has come in and he's given stability to that position. The fact that he's fit enough and he can play that role well, I think, is a step up from anybody else who did that last season. But he's looked quietly good. Not saying he's world class or anything, but he's looked quietly stable. That somebody who can be there and just play and get the job done on that side. I think that's wonderful to have in a team like that. Maybe they'll look for an upgrade in the future, and maybe if he doesn't develop, and hopefully he develops and becomes better and better. But as a player who's coming into this team, another young player who's coming in, who's playing in his first season for Real Madrid, just continuing to develop. That's what you want to see, and that's good to see from him. Joselu, I think, got a good assist. That'll give him some confidence going to the next few games. He's probably going to have to start the next game if Vinicius is not fit. So getting an assist, having a goal involvement will give him confidence. I did feel at times he stuck out like a sore thumb trying to play on that right wing. But then again, that's what he brings. The assist is what he brings to the team. The fact that he's an out-and-out striker and he can be sort of a ping-pong target man for corners or things, or long balls, things like that. That is something that he brings, and that's important as well for a team. That is important as well. Can he be the main man? Probably not, but he's a good, useful squad player to have, and that's what they're getting with him. And then I've got to talk about Kepa. Because I thought Kepa was. Again, it could be nerves because it's his first start for Real Madrid. It could be the fact that you're going to an away game. It's an away game. It's Celta Vigo. It's never an easy place to go. But I wasn't impressed with him. I think he looked shaky. And the thing is, he's never impressed anyone at Chelsea. I think anybody who's watched his time at Chelsea knows that he's got flaws in his game. He's got glaring flaws in his game. And I think today a lot of them were exposed. The goal that was scored, yes, it was that a foul? Maybe not. That was an error from him, by the way. Just very weak. For me, that's not a foul. That was Kepa being weak. That's one part of it. The goal, when it comes in, yes, is a deflection, but I think he also reacts quite late. Now, maybe because of the deflection, he's got to wait and see it. And man, you can kind of excuse that. But that to me, looked like that was not a red flag, probably would be an orange flag, but there was a color thing like that. And there was other moments where Larsen looked like he had the physical beating of Kepa. and he looked a little bit shaky as well at times. And you could see that Celta Vigo were trying to target him. They couldn't do it because they didn't have the quality. But at times they tried to target him and target his weakness in crosses and corners. And that is something that he's going to have to work on very, very quickly, because other La Liga strikers are going to look at that and go, right, we've got a weakness here that we can exploit. Let's just put crosses in the box. Lewandowski will be licking his lips. He's pretty physical and big, so he's going to be licking his lips, thinking about what could happen there. And there are other strikers, I'm sure, who'll be looking at that and going, right, there is a weakness that we can target. And Kepa's going to have to fix that very, very quickly, because his time at Chelsea doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. But if his first game is anything to go by, it's not going to inspire a lot of confidence. I think Nunez can feel a little bit hardened by it, having lost his place, because I don't think he did anything too bad in the first 2 games to lose it. But that's Kepa now. He's got to take that pressure and really step up and do well. And let's hope he does. But the first signs are not very encouraging, at least for me. But you can share your thoughts, and let me know, of course, if you think you disagree. Feel free to disagree. Never a problem anyway. But now it's on to the next game. 3 wins out of 3. Perfect start for Madrid. They go to Getafe. They play Getafe next at home. So that's going to be a big game. Getafe, of course, did very well against Barcelona recently. So they'll be up for that game. And we'll have, the good news for Real is that they're at home. But that's going to be another tough physical game. So let's see what happens. But for today, they got the job done. Hard-fought win. Rode their luck at times, but at the same time, the important thing is getting the 3 points and moving on to the performance. So that's well done. I think my man of the match, Jude Bellingham. It's got to be Jude Bellingham. I thought everything went to him, not just the goal. I think he's at the moment the man who's really He's the man at Real Madrid, and I think all good things kind of go through Jude in some ways, and that's very, very interesting to see. A shout out for Garcia as well. I thought he was good. Not man of the match good, but he was quite good as well. But special like for Jude Bellingham if he's your man of the match. Otherwise, if you disagree with me, if you think it should be somebody else, let me know in the comments. Of course, we'd always like to hear your thoughts. Do share your thoughts on the game as well. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree? Is there something that I may have missed that you want to point out? Share that. Always love to hear from you guys. Do smash like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Always appreciate your support. We're getting close to 390 subscribers, so please subscribe so we can hit that mark as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.